Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jag, and in today's class we're going to continue with our Math 5-6 content. And what we're going to go through today is multiplying with whole numbers as well as with decimals. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to put down an example on the board. Okay, so let's try 236. Okay, let's do a small number like times 3. Okay. And then we're also going to go through maybe multiplying 2-digit by 2-digit as well, okay, as a review. So what you're going to do here is multiply these two numbers. I'm going to do 6 times 3, which is 18. So you put the 8 and you carry over the 1, okay? Next, I'm going to go through the diagonal. So I'm going to do 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 1, which is 10. So I'm going to put the 0 because it's in the ones digit, and I'm going to carry over the 1, okay, to the next column. And then lastly, we're going to do this last column. So 3 times 2, which is 6, plus 1, which is equal to 7, okay? So you can see that our answer is 708, okay? And that's all you're doing basically when you're multiplying it with whole numbers. All right, so on this side, let's try another example. Okay, this time we're going to do, let's do small numbers here. So 54 times 23, okay? So we are multiplying 2-digit by 2-digit here, okay? Make sure you are looking at which numbers you're multiplying as well, okay? So here I'm going to start off with 4 times 3. So maybe let's just circle it so you can see it, which is 12. So you put the 2, and I put the 1 on top here, all right? Then I'm going to do the diagonal multiplication here, okay? So I'm going to do 5 times 3, which is 15, plus 1. You're going to add the 1 on top, which is equal to 16. All right, so just like this. So I'm going to take this off, okay? And let's write it down one more time on the side. So I'm just going to put 54 times 23. Okay, so 162, okay? So the reason I'm rewriting it here, okay, is because we're going to circle which other two numbers we need to multiply. All right. So we're done basically with the ones column here. So you're going to put a 0, okay? And we're going to go to the tens column, and I'm going to multiply these two numbers. So we're doing 4 times 2, which is equal to 8. And you put the 8 right underneath the 6 here, okay? Don't forget to put the 0, okay? If you don't put the 0, you're going to end up with the wrong answer. All right, and then lastly, we're going to do 5 times 2, which is equal to 10, okay? So you do notice how I'm making sure, okay, that I line up all of the numbers, and therefore when I'm adding it, I'm getting the right answer, okay? So we're going to just add that, so 2, and then 8 plus 6, 14. Okay, carry the 1 over, 1 plus 1 is 2. And that's 1 plus 0, okay, which is equal to 1 here, okay? And you can see when you multiply it, 1,242 is your final answer. Does everyone see that? Are there any questions? Okay, good. Let's try one more example here. Okay, I'm going to take this off. Okay, we're going to practice the 2-digit by 2-digit. Okay, so we know, again, exactly which order we're multiplying the numbers in. So I'm going to keep the number small. Let's try 65 times 23. Okay, make sure when you're practicing at home, you're doing it with like really small numbers, and then take your calculator. Make sure you are getting the right answer, okay? So try it on your own first. The calculator should only be for you checking your answers, okay? So we're going to start off with this, okay? The ones column here, so I'm doing 5 times 3, which is 15. 5, and you carry the 1 over, okay, to the other side. And then I'm going to do 3 times 6, which is 18, plus 1, which is equal to 19. Does everyone see that? Okay. Again, I'm just going to rewrite it on the right side so we can all see our answer here. So 65 times 23. Okay, we got 195. Okay. And now we're done again with the ones column. I'm going to put a 0, okay? And let's move on to the tens column to multiply the numbers. So I'm going to do the diagonal here. So 5 times 2, which is equal to 10. So I'm going to put 0 and 1 on top, okay? And then lastly, we're going to multiply the 6 times 2, which is 12, plus 1, which is equal to 13. Okay, so just like this. Okay, so one more time, we're just going to add the numbers together here. So 9, 1 plus 3, so 4. So we're getting 1,000, okay, 495, okay, as our final answer. And we're just checking it on our calculator to make sure that we're getting the same answer, okay? So this is really important, okay, that you're able to do the 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication. It might be a little confusing at first because I need to just make sure I'm looking at which two numbers I'm multiplying. I have to make sure that I don't forget to put the 0 once I'm done with the ones column, okay, and then move on to the tens column. All right, so if everyone's good here, we're going to move on to multiplying with the decimals. Okay, I'm going to take this off. Okay, and now let's try something small. So I'm going to do 4.55, and let's just do times 3, okay? So you notice I have a decimal here. But what we're going to do, okay, is just do the regular multiplication. All right, so let's start off with this here. So we're doing 5 times 3, which is 15. I'm going to put the 5 and carry over the 1, okay? And next, I'm moving on to the next column here in the tens. So it's going to be 5 times 3, okay, which is 15. And then add the 1 on top, so it's equal to 16. So I'm going to put 6 and the 1 on top. Is everyone with me so far? Okay, good. And lastly, we're going to do 4 times 3, which is equal to 12, plus 1, which is equal to 13. Okay, now again, so I do see that this is a decimal, okay? You're just going to look at the number of numbers that you see after the decimal place here, okay? So you notice right here, I have my decimal, it's 4.55, okay? And I have 1 and 2 numbers, okay, after the decimal place. Okay, so the same thing here. Okay, so 1 and 2. So I should have in my final answer the same numbers. I have 2 numbers after the decimal place, and that's what it should be in my answer as well. Okay, so my answer is 13.65. Then take your calculator, and you can also check your answer, and you can see we're getting 13.65. Okay, does anyone have questions? All right, let's try one more example here. I'm going to take this off. Okay, and let's try some small numbers. So let's do 6.29 times 3. Okay, so say it's like this. Okay, again, I'm just going to multiply so that we're going to do 9 times 3, so 27. Okay, so I'm not going to draw the circles in case it's confusing anybody. Okay, then go to the next column. We're going to do 2 times 3, which is 6, and then plus the 2 on top, okay, which is equal to 8. All right, and then lastly, we're going to do 6 times 3, which is equal to 18. Does everyone see that? Okay, so one more time, this is the decimal place. I have 2 decimals, or 2 numbers after my decimal. So I know right here it's going to be 1 and 2. Okay, so my answer is not just 1,887. Okay, my answer is actually 18.87. Okay, and we're going to check our answer on our calculator, and we can see that we're getting 18.87. Does everyone see that? Okay. All right, so with that, let's try one last example, and I'm just going to change the position of where the decimal place is found, okay? But again, we're going to keep all the numbers really small, okay, so everyone can grasp this concept. So let's try 52.6 times 3. Okay, so you notice now the decimal place is near the end here. There's only one number after the decimal place. So let's try the multiplication first. I'm going to do 6 times 3, so 18. Put the 8. We're going to carry over the 1, okay? Then I'm going to do 2 times 3, which is 6. and plus the 1 on top, which is equal to 7. Okay? And then lastly, we're going to multiply the last two numbers here. So we're going to do 5 times 3, so 15, like that. All right? And like I said, there's only one number after the decimal place. Usually the decimal place is right here, okay, in a whole number. It's after the very last number. So here I need to have just one decimal place. Okay, and I'm going to take this off so we don't get confused. So I'm just moving the loop just one time, okay, to the left. So my answer, again, is not 1,578. Okay, my answer is 157.8, okay? Again, if I don't put the decimal place, okay, the teacher is going to take off marks. Okay, I'm going to put it in my calculator. And as we can see right here, we're getting 157.8, okay, which is the answer we have on the board. All right. All right, so that looks good. Okay, so this is basically multiplying not just with whole numbers, but just kind of an introduction of how to multiply using the decimals. Okay, make sure you're counting the numbers or the number of numbers that you see after the decimal place. And that should be the same thing that you have in your final answer. All right. Okay, so that looks good. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did learn how to multiply decimals as well as whole numbers, and make sure you just remember all the rules. All right, so make sure you don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see everyone in the next video. Thanks, bye.